Hey guys. So, welcome back. If you're new here, hi. Today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I plan to read next month in May, and a little bit right now because I'm starting one of the books. But since it's already mid-April, I guess this is gonna be my May TBR and not my April TBR. Let's get started.
1, 2, 3, let's go!
So the first book on my TBR is Red Notice, a true story of high finance, murder, and one man's fight for justice by Bill Browder. So this is actually going to be my next read. I just finished the book that I was currently reading, and I am on the first chapter. I have my little Bob Ross bookmark in there. So yeah, I'm very excited to start this actually. So this is a nonfiction thriller about a man living in Russia. He heads the largest investment fund in Russia and works to expose the corrupt oligarchs, and later on finds himself getting expelled. So very interesting, definitely going to be a lot of suspense and a lot of mind-blowing events, I can tell, but I'm very excited to read this. This is going to be the first nonfiction book of the year. I don't read a lot of nonfiction. I'll probably read 1 or 2 nonfiction books in a year. It's just not my go-to genre, but I'm trying to change that. You know, new year, new me. So I'm trying to give this a shot, and if I love this, I'm probably gonna look for more nonfiction books in this sort of area and then work my way towards more nonfiction. So yeah, that's the first book on my TBR. So the next book on my TBR is Awardable Flies by William Golding. First of all, can we just appreciate this cover? I find the art so cool, and look at the inside. Look at this. Look at that. Amazing cover. I love it. This is a classic. I have never read it. My school never required me to read it. So now I am trying to take things into my own hands and finally read this book. So this book is about a young group of British boys that get stranded on an uninhabited island, and they attempt to govern themselves and make their own little society. So I'm very excited for this. I just watched a new series, relatively new, called The Society, where young teens try to govern themselves and everything just goes crazy. So I'm very excited to see the events that are going to take place in this book and finally get this classic checked off my list. So the next book, or books on my list, is the Summoner Trilogy. Yes, I am missing the 3rd book, I know. So this is a fantasy trilogy, and it follows our main character Fletcher as he discovers his power to summon demons. So he travels to the Adept Military Academy to be trained in the art of summoning. He must train hard to fight in the Hominum Empire, I'm pretty sure is how you pronounce it, and work alongside very powerful children with very powerful parents. So yeah, that's basically what this is about. I am very excited to get it started. I did start the first book last year, and then I stopped halfway because I decided to read a different book. But I was very interested in the first few chapters, and I am very excited to actually finish it this time, so yeah. So the next trilogy on my list, yes, I have another trilogy, this is why I have a very long TBR, is the Bone Witch Trilogy. Yes, I know, again, missing the last book. This story follows our main character T, who can raise the dead, the power of necromancy, but this power comes at a cost. T learns that she is a different witch from the rest of her family. She is a bone witch, and bone witches are considered outcasts. T then finds herself under the guidance of an older and wiser bone witch, and travels to another land to be trained and taught the art of necromancy. So yes, I'm very excited for this. We love witchcraft. Yes, another fantasy trilogy. I am trying to get back on that fantasy groove. I've been off reading fantasy for a while, but I'm trying to find my love for it again. So yes, very excited for this. Another long trilogy. These 2 books are already pretty thick. I do not want to know what the 3rd book will look like, but that's fine. So my last and final trilogy is the Arc of Sky Trilogy. I only have the 1st book. I have not purchased the 2nd and 3rd book. This is later on in my TBR list, and I have not gotten my new bookshelf yet, so I am trying to save some room and money. So this story is about how humanity has overcome all its obstacles, even death. Scythes are the only ones that are trained to kill and are ordered to kill. Our two characters, Citra and Rowan, are chosen to apprentice under a Scythe and learn all about the art of killing. They know they must do this, otherwise they risk losing their own lives. So very excited for this. I love a good dystopian novel, what more a trilogy. So I'm really hoping I can get through this. I'm really hoping with all my trilogies I can get through it. I do have problems finishing series because I get lazy, okay? I'm just gonna put it out there. I get lazy and the book comes out like a year or two later and then I forget what happened in the first book and I don't want to reread it, so then I just never finish it, even though I have the sequel sitting on my bookshelf. So I have a lot of series that I could list at the top of my mind that I have not finished. So I'm really hoping that these 3 trilogies I can actually finish and say that I have finished a new series. Hey guys, so I was about to continue on with my TBR and I realized I was not saying the authors' names and just the titles of the books, so I'm gonna briefly go through it again. So the Summoner Trilogy is by Taran Matharu. Please let me know if I butchered that horribly. The Bone Witch Trilogy is by Rin Chipeko. Again, definitely butchered that. And finally, the Arc of Scythe Trilogy is by Neil Shusterman. Sorry that I forgot to say the authors' names, it just slipped my mind. I was so excited to start talking about the books. So the second to the last book on my TBR is 172 Hours on the Moon by Joan Harstad. So this story is about a lottery that NASA holds where 3 lucky teenagers can win a week-long trip to the moon. But once on the moon, something terrible happens. I don't know what the terrible is, I just know that something terrible happens. I am very excited to read this. It looks really cool. It reminds me of the Illuminae series. If you guys have ever read that, that is one series I have not yet finished. I still have to read the last book, but I don't have the book with me because it is all the way back in the Philippines. But it reminds me of that because we have like a lot of pictures and blueprints, and all the chapters start like this. So there is some graphic in here, which is always fun to have. Some pictures and some letters. So yes, very excited for that. I love space-themed books. Space-themed anything. I can't say that. Space-themed anything I love. Finally, the last book on my TBR is The Body, A Guide for Occupants by Bill Brierson. So, another nonfiction book. You all should be very proud of me that I have 2 nonfiction books on my TBR. So, like I said, this is a nonfiction novel that is basically a guide for humans on the human body. That's it. It's pretty self-explanatory. It really is just all about the body and how it works and all its functions and all its marvelous things. So each chapter is a different part of the body. If I look here at the table of contents, like we have like a chapter on the brain, on the head, on the heart, on the blood, on the immune system, the gut, sleep, all this fun stuff. And I'm very excited to read it. My uncle gave me this book, told me to read a few chapters, see if I liked it, and if I did, just keep going. But I'm really hoping to finish this so I can say I've read 2 nonfiction books this year, if not in a month. That would be pretty amazing. Nonfiction is not my typical genre, and this book specifically is not something that I would have picked out in the bookstore myself. It's definitely something I would have seen, looked at, but then just put it back and walked away. It is not something I would have picked up on my own, but I am very excited to expand my horizons and open my mind to different and new books. So that's my TBR for May. I don't think I'll be able to get through everything in just 1 month because I have 3 trilogies up there, so it's gonna be a while. So even though just looking at my list, it's just one thing because I just wrote it as Bone Witch Trilogy or Arc of Sky Trilogy. It's 3 books times 3, So the chances of me getting through this entire list in a month is pretty slim, unless I'm finishing a book every 2 days, which I can do. I normally read that fast, but lately I wouldn't say I had a reading slump, but I've definitely slowed down my reading a little bit. It took me 5 days to finish my last book, which is the longest, 5 or 6 days, which is the longest out of my entire list that I had. Last time I finished all the books that I was previously reading in 2 to 3 days. This book I finished 5 or 6 days, so it's definitely slowed down. I'm hoping I can pick it up before I start this TBR, or when I start this TBR, because I'm literally right about to start it. But I am very excited to get through all these books. It will definitely put a lot more books on my have read than it needs to be read list. Very excited for that, although I will probably just fill up my needs to be read list in a day because I have an obsession with buying books. But besides that, like I said, I am very excited. All these books are books that I've been looking forward to reading as well, so very excited for that. So yeah, thank you all for watching and staying tuned. Let me know if you guys have any book recommendations, just comment down below. Let me know what video you guys want to see next. If you want a bookish related video or just something entirely different, I'm totally open to anything and everything. So just let me know in the comments down below. Please subscribe to my channel, give me some love, and give this video a big thumbs up, because thumbs up for amazing books, or hopefully amazing books. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye!